Long before humans ever walked on the surface of the Earth, about 23 million years ago, during a time historians call the Miocene epoch, the world was a very different and dangerous place. The planet was much warmer than it is today, and the oceans were high, covering much of the land we see now. In these warm, ancient waters, there lived a creature so terrifying and massive that it makes the great white shark look like a harmless goldfish. This was the age of the Megalodon, the undisputed king of the deep blue sea. The history of this monster begins in the fossil records, where we see that it dominated the oceans for millions of years, traveling all over the world, from the coasts of America to the waters of Europe and Australia. It was a time when the ocean was a true battlefield, and the Megalodon was the ultimate tank. You have to understand just how gigantic this beast actually was, because it is almost impossible to believe without seeing it. A full-grown Megalodon could reach lengths of up to 60 feet, which is longer than a standard school bus and about 3 times the size of the biggest shark alive today. Its body was built for pure power, weighing as much as 50 or 60 elephants combined, and it moved through the water with a scary silence that gave its prey no warning. If you stood next to it, you wouldn't even reach the height of its fin. The most famous part of this monster, and the reason we know so much about it, is its mouth. The name Megalodon actually means big tooth, and that is the perfect description. Its jaws were big enough to swallow 2 adult humans standing side by side without even chewing. Inside those jaws were rows of serrated teeth, each one the size of your hand, sharp as steak knives, and designed to crush bone. When a Megalodon bit down, it slammed its jaws shut with a force that was stronger than a T-Rex. This was not a creature that ate small fish. It was a monster that hunted whales. It would patrol the warm oceans looking for giant prehistoric whales, and when it attacked, it would ram into them with high speed to break their ribs and damage their heart/lungs before taking a massive bite. The ocean was its grocery store, and it could eat anything it wanted. For millions of years, nothing could stop it. Baby Megalodons were born in shallow waters, which acted like nurseries to keep them safe from other predators until they were big enough to join the adults in the deep sea. But then, the world began to change. About 3 million years ago, the planet started to cool down. The warm oceans that the Megalodon loved turned cold, and ice began to form at the North and South poles. The whales, which were the Megalodon's favorite food, adapted to the cold and moved to the freezing waters near the poles, where the giant shark could not follow because its body couldn't handle the freezing temperatures. Slowly, the giant king of the ocean began to starve. At the same time, smaller, faster, and smarter sharks, like the ancestors of the great white, began to compete for the little food that was left. The combination of the cooling earth and the lack of food was the only thing that could defeat this monster. Eventually, the Megalodon vanished from existence, leaving behind nothing but its giant teeth scattered across beaches and buried in rocks around the world. These teeth are the only clues we have left, proof that a real-life sea monster once swam right where boats sail today. The ocean is quiet now compared to those chaotic times, but looking at those fossilized teeth reminds us that there was once a time when a 60-foot shark was the ruler of the waves.